our NBA. Straya, how are you going? Are you good? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Wednesday, hump day, October 15. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Laurentiis Studios. And today, with about a week to go before the NBA season starts, we're doing our Aussie preview. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So later on this week, Thursday, Friday, we're going to roll out our big over-under episodes as well. But today, as I promised at the end of last week, we'll do one that's just about the Aussies. So today we're going to do the three big questions rattling around in my brain for all 13 Aussie NBA players right now. Sound good? I bloody well hope so, because that's what the show is. That's all it is today. So there's like a tiny little bit of news. We'll get to that in a second. But otherwise, we'll just do that, and then we'll get out of your hair, and then you will get over-unders later in the week. It's going to be awesome. So let's bloody well get into it. Episode 1305 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack!
You better. You better watch out for the Wemby attack, obviously. There was a quote floating around. So preseason's all happening, right? Preseason, as I've explained time and time again, it's really hard to get up and about for it. It's kind of fun to see some of the younger fellas out there. The other day, as I mentioned, we had like a bunch I think we had 4 Aussies on the court the other day in Chicago, Cleveland, which is awesome. But otherwise, it's just like a bit of a grind. Even Joey Muzz, he's like, oh, bro, I had preseason games, my man. It is the worst bullshit ever. I hate it so much. And you're like, ooh, Joey Muzz really hates it. But Boban, the largest man I've ever met in person, Boban Marjanovic was like, hey, I'm 7'4". I met Wemby, and he's just bloody huge. When you got a 7'4" bloke going, that guy's big. That's bloody huge. I am bloody huge. So that's kind of like the fun bit. Nicely, I mean, Jalen Green has pulled a bit of a hammy, so he's like a little bit of up in the air in doubt for the opener for the Suns. That team sort of stinks anyway. You had Amon Thompson and Jose Grand Theft Alvarado having a bit of a punch on. Always kind of fun. But otherwise, I think the coolest thing for fans like us out there of the NBA is that the NBC, that's right, NBC is out there broadcasting games this year, remember? So they've bought into it. TNT's pissed off. And the simple idea is, God, it looks awesome. They've put some time and effort into what they're doing. The broadcast crews, the people that they've got involved, it looks great. I'm getting more and more pumped for those games as the season ticks closer and closer and closer. So that's good. What else do we have? I don't know. Jason Kidd got a multi-year extension because that always works out great. Yeesh. But otherwise, I mean, that's kind of it, right? Giannis is like, after we said the other day about how the New York stuff broke about Giannis, he's like, I thought I want to finish my career in Greece. And it's like his family have all moved back there and stuff, which is fine. It's all good. He can live where he wants. The New York Giannis thing, as I sort of said on Friday, it was just a bit of a strange one for the simple fact is like the timing of it was weird and kind of a bit dodge. And then you look at it specifically, like there is very few ways for a deal like this to even happen now, let alone, in the next week. So we have to wait. Like, this is just going to be a story all the way through to February, which just annoys me more than anything. But the cool thing has been seeing a bunch of the Aussies pop off in preseason. I've enjoyed this immensely. Tyrese Proctor, Luke Travers, got a little bit of Lockie O. We've seen some Rocco. It's all going on. And so that sort of prompts this one, right? I promised this back on Friday. I wanted to do just a very Aussie specific show. Like just a quick preview, just to get everyone up to speed on where the Aussies are, what they're doing, what we could expect. And that's what this one is. So, I think we should play our national anthem, which I believe is Yeah, there we go. The Aussie national anthem. Anyway, let's get into it. 3 big questions for all of our Aussie NBA players this year. We have, I believe, 13 as we start the season, with a couple on two-way contracts. But we have Josh Giddey, Dyson Daniels, Johnny Furphy, Jinglin' Joe Ingles, Jock Landale, Josh Green, Do-Up, Bob, Do-Up Wreath, Aussie Matty T, Matisse Tybal, Sex 'em Up Dante Exum, Tyrese Proctor, Luke Travers, Rocco Zakowski, and Lockie Olbrick, with, of course, Paddy Thrills, Paddy Mills, and Box Hill Benny Simmons floating in the wind, unsigned as of yet. So we might get to a record 14-15, which would be really, really cool. But I think as soon as I was sort of piecing this together very quickly, because in a surprise twist, I don't put too much thought into things. I'm just screwing with you. Of course, I think about this all the time. That's the big problem. The thing you look at this with, especially with Paddy not being signed, with Ben Simmons being not on a team because he's a giant flog who doesn't want to sign with New York because he's a big fucking sook. It is absolutely a watershed moment for the young bucks of Australian basketball. This is like another changing of the guard. We've had changings of the guards before, but like with Paddy Mills and Jinglin' Joe Ingles in the NBA a lot of the time, we've now gotten to the point where it is the Giddies, the Daniels, the Johnny Furphys, the Landales and stuff like that. They are the headliners now. And we've got a couple of actually rolled gold superstars there in Gids and Dyson. So let's start right there, shall we? Giddy up with Josh Giddey heading in to a pretty massive season for Gids, right? After an off-season where he sort of hung out in Australia, been a pretty chill bro, not getting up to too much, getting a new contract worth $100 million. He had his birthday last week, right? And he just turned 23. This is going into his 5th year in the NBA now, right? And he's just turned 23. My first question will be, the big questions for all of these NBA players from Australia, number 1 will be, can he earn some goddamn respect? Seriously, bloke just turned 23. The list of guys to average a 14, 8, and 7 per game in the NBA across a season who are 22 and under literally goes the Big O, Oscar Robertson, Magic fucking Johnson, Luka Doncic, Ben Simmons, and Josh Giddey. That's remarkable. Put some respect on Josh Giddey's fucking name, would you? Holy shit. Not only are those statistical markers pretty fucking chaotic, but how is he going to earn that respect is the big question, right? Like, so much of this lends itself to the rise and rise and rise of this Bulls team that he is now in charge of. So will he earn respect if he answers question number 2, which is, can he live up to that $100 million contract and prove that the back half of last year, the post-All-Star break run that he went on after the trade deadline wasn't a fluke. He averaged 21, 10, and 9 after the All-Star break. 21, 10, and 9. He shot 50% from the floor, 45% from 3. Now, the three-point shooting is going to be the last question, because that is what's like so much of the Bulls' success, Giddey's success, his viability on the floor as anything other than like a Ben Simmons-y kind of Sands defense clone, is if that three-point shot keeps dropping, right? So I guess the third question simply comes down to, was that 3-point shot real or not? Or was it just a really extended hot streak? Did he put in the off-season work to make sure that it keeps on going like that? Like, the entire thing, every time you watch Giddey over the last couple of years, his shot doesn't look broken. Far from it. And then obviously you saw it all just fucking click in the back half of last season. Yes, a lot of those shots were open because people are like, Josh Giddey can't shoot. Have at it, sir. So he's wide fucking open as he's launching these threes. But hey, if you hit fucking 45% of your wide open threes on an NBA court during a game, that's all right by your mate Jim. So he ended up averaging 37.8% from three last year, right? While across the board, the 14, 8, and 7. The turnovers went up to 2.9 per game. That's a lot more of the ball in your hand. You're playing 30 minutes a game. Once they got rid of Levine and obviously DeRozan and stuff there in Chicago, we all knew that it was like, this is going to be like a Giddey show. So can he continue to make it a Giddey show while also making the Bulls maybe not good, but at least fucking respectable, right? This Bulls team is a weird conglomeration of talent where you've got Buzelis, you've got Vooch, you've got Kobe White next to Gids as your sort of microwave backcourt partner scoring mate. Kevin Huerta, the Ginger Ninja, Red Velvet coming off the bench presumably. And like Isaac Okoro as your three because you had the Lonzo Ball trade. Remember that? So it's this weird situation. They've got Ayo Dosunmu and stuff. So much of this will sort of come down to like, if this actually fucking works and if like I don't know, the person who's actually driving this bus, aka Giddey, can actually make it all work together. Because so much of what Giddey has sort of achieved in the NBA, and to be honest, everyone who's like, in Adelaide in the NBL, it's like, he's a good point guard. He makes amazing passes. He found that dude over there. A bit more of the point guardery skill set involves also just like controlling what your team is doing, spreading the love, and making sure everyone's eating. Controlling what your team is doing, right? That's what I'm going to see more of from Gids this season, as well as hitting his threes and all that sort of stuff. Be more of a floor general. Get your shots, hit your shots while you're open, off you go. Because so much of the Bulls, like ongoing success, just hinges on that. Kobe White's not that guy. Ayo Dosunmu's not that guy. They're not going to average 8 assists a game. That's Gids. So, Giddey the fuck up, hit your threes, be a floor general, keep kicking ass, taking names, and earn that respect, Josh Giddey. Right there. How's that? 3 big questions. Can he live up to that contract? Prove that it wasn't a fluke down the back half of last season. The 3-point shot, will it go? And if all this happens, can he earn some goddamn respect? Boom. 3 big questions for Gids. Number 2. Who is up? It's Dyson. Can he win a Defensive Player of the Year on the perimeter while Victor Wembanyama is on the fucking court in the NBA and in the league? That's a bit of a isn't it? The entire setup for Defensive Player of the Year gets really fucking difficult as a guard because Dyson was already putting up numbers we haven't seen since Gary Payton in 1996 when the Glove won the fucking Defensive Player of the Year. And it feels like Marcus Smart might have fucked this for everybody. Like a fake good defender. It's like, he looks like he's doing things. And he is big. I don't know. Oh, look at him. He's a good he's Defensive Player of the Year. And then was just shit. And he might have fucked it for every guard after him now who is never going to have a chance at winning Defensive Player of the Year again because fucking Marcus Smart, bit of a flog. But Dyson. So he goes into last year with absolutely zero expectation. Now there is this is what the actual sort of question is. Now there's expectation. Can he continue that career progression? Right? Building on his game. Because you think about his couple of years in New Orleans, they didn't know how to use him. He's part of the DeJounte Murray trade, which goes tits up for everybody involved. And Atlanta come out fucking winners purely because they got Dyson Daniels, but also all the other shit they got. So last year he averages 14.1 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 3 steals. Absolutely absurd stuff. He's seen his field goal percentage tick up to 49.5% as well on 7 more shots a game in 11 more minutes a game. Like, it's a really nice correlation where year 3 in the NBA for Dyson, he takes that giant step as he's playing starters minutes finally, as he's actually allowed to showcase his skill set. So where does that go? That's the big one, right? So now you got the expectation, can you actually even step it up even further and be even a better defender? And number 2, hit more fucking threes, because 34% from 3 last year, it was fine. He took 3.1 threes a game last year, but it felt like every time he was kind of launching them, it was like almost, it wasn't quite under duress, but every time he shot them, you kind of like, God, I hope that goes in. What you should be feeling when someone like Dyson shoots is like, well, that's in. Nailed it. We're going back the other way. The fact that he got to 34% is pretty great. Started his career as not much of a shooter. That at least wasn't his core sort of talent. But he's worked on it. He spent this entire offseason, right? The first time in the NBA without having to play like a World Cup and Olympics, all that sort of stuff. Goes into this season being able to work on his game. Does that translate into an even better 3-point shot this year? Because, and I guess this is number 3, with a deeper roster around him on Atlanta, where he might get a little bit more defensive help, but he's probably got less shots, really, in his pocket. Taking 12 shots a game last year, how does he react to maybe that going down or staying steady? Because suddenly they've got Nicky Alexander-Walker, they've got Luke Kennard, the Duckman, and they've got our man, the Extreme Zinger Meal.
The Extreme Zinger Meal.
There you go. So you got the Extreme Zinger Meal there in Atlanta. How does that work? Can we see more of his passing ability, more of his connectivity? He does a great job of that as well. He's a really great cutter. He just needs to hit his threes, help set up other players, be an absolute all-round weapon. And I'll tell you what, it kind of leads into the last part of that question is, could we see Dyson Daniels as an all-star this year? Because that's the level of talent he has, and that's where I want to see him get to. Because he could. He could be leading the league in steals again. He could be a really massive part of a surprisingly awesome Hawks team, possibly. And we all know that he's doing all the heavy lifting in that fucking backcourt next to Trae Young. So, let's go. All-Star Dyson. It starts here. Hashtag All-Star Dyson. Oh, yes, let's go. So, can he win a Defensive Player of the Year, even with Wemby in the league? Probably not, but we'll give it a crack. Can he hit those threes? And can he be a connective player that rises, a rising tide lifts all boats? Hopefully he's a big part of that and he turns into an actual star and becomes an all-star. Let's go. Right. That's number 2. Number 3, Johnny Furphy. Old mate Tins. Oh, Johnny Froths. Can he actually carve out a proper bench role on this Pacers team? He didn't play a giant amount in his rookie year. To be expected, it's a team that made the fucking finals. But now they're down 2 starters to start this year. Remember, the Pacers? No Tyrese Halliburton. He's done his Achilles. Miles Turner is now in Milwaukee. I hear it's Algonquin for the good land. I can't attest to that. But Furphy, in terms of his role on this Pacers team, there's an obvious and clear path to minutes where without Halliburton out there, Nembhard probably starts. You've still got TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell is out to start the year as well, right? So they've signed Campaign. He stinks. What are we doing? But the rest of that perimeter rotation of without McConnell out there who can play next to Nembhard and Naismith and co. But you've got Benny Mathurin, you've got Naismith, you've got Ben Shepherd as your sort of gun shooting guard weapon off the bench. And then it's Furphy. Mixing it up with depending on how you want to play him, at the 3, just on the perimeter as a wing. He's also probably going to be mixing up with Obi Toppin, Jarris Walker, as those sort of, 2, 3, 4 wing dudes who can do a little bit of something. So Furphy is pretty fucking sneaky tall now. And he's also built like a brick shithouse. Sort of leads to question number 2. Is he too jacked? Those photos of Hulkamania Furphy are fucking terrifying. I can't even show them to the kids. They were like, Dad, who's the scary man? I'm like, that's Johnny Furphy. He's got a baby face and fucking biceps that'll take your eye out. But anyway, look, Furphy's got a clear role on this Pacers team as that perimeter sort of set of players on the Pacers is thinned out with Halliburton gone, with Turner gone, Jackson, Huff, Toppin having to play some small ball five as he sort of did in the playoffs, that sort of stuff. It's a really interesting spot because ostensibly he's the backup small forward. He could probably be playing a bit of the four as well in small ball lineups. Who knows? I want to see. I can't wait. Can he make that role stick? And the last one is, I mean, how many dudes is he going to dunk on this year that become fucking absolute internet sensations? And can we see him in the fucking dunk comp? Now, one of my great Outback Takehouse ideas was just rattled off the other day, where after a couple of absolutely wildly vicious dunks this preseason, fuck the dunk comp this year. Let's just have Johnny Furphy and Johnny Kuminga go at each other in a one-on-one dunk comp where the other player's out on the fucking floor and has to guard the other one's dunks. I love this. Let's fucking go. But Furfs, look, if he can hit his threes, he shot 30% on threes last year, only took one per game. But at the same time, he also barely fucking played. So can we see a bit more of the three-point shot? Can we see a bit more of his all-round game? How many dudes is he going to dunk on? Carve out your role, play some defense. Can he actually legitimately contribute to a team that'll need all hands on deck this year, missing two of their fucking final starters from last year? It's up to you, Johnny Furphy. It's up to you. Jinglin' Joe Ingles in year 10, I want to say, of his NBA career. 2015, I think he began. Maybe year 11. Let's go have a look. 11 years. There we go. Not bad. Good size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is his 12th year in the NBA. Holy shit. How time flies when you're having fun. Jingles, I guess simply, can he win a ring before he retires? AKA, can the Wolves actually win it all this year? Maybe. It'd be kind of fucking nice for Jingles to ride off into the sunset. And look, OKC look fucking wildly unbeatable. Until we remember, a couple of times in the playoffs, they were fucking wildly beatable, right? Denver, Minnesota, all these guys, all these teams right now are fucking staring OKC in the eye going, yes, sizing him up, having a crack. Could Minnesota be the team? I mean, Jingles is not going to contribute this year. Let's all be fucking real. And one of these other questions here is like literally over under. Will he play more games than he entered into last year, which was 19? Probably not. Probably not. Like Jingles is 38. It was his birthday a couple of weeks ago. So Jingles, he's just going to be out there being the salty, awesome playing coach, wily veteran. That's fine. Can that help them actually, get to a fucking finals? Maybe. Can Ant-Man take that big jump? Possibly. Will he play, I don't know, like I guess in, 19 games? Will he play more than 15 games this year? I'm probably going to say nah. The most minutes he played in a game last year, let's bring that up too. That's right, it was 19 minutes. He scored 10 points in the loss to Washington on, what's that, February 2? Yeah, February 1. What a world it was. They lost to the Wizards, who were 6-41 at that point. But anyway, the last one, I guess, for Jingles is, can he help get Ant-Man's head on right? Because if Jingles can sort of help, just go, Ant-Man, fucking stop having kids, you idiot. Like, just pull out, do something, just stop having fucking kids. It's not hard, come on. And just like getting him to fucking completely focus on the shit that matters, which is him kicking ass and taking names, right? That will help them win a title. But Jingles, look, we're going to get a lot of smiles, we're going to get a lot of bench shit talking, and that's kind of all we need from Jingles in year 12. Jock Landale, however, as at the moment, maybe the starting center for the Memphis Grizzlies. It's kind of between him and Santi Aldama, and I don't know. Let's go Jock, I say. So much of this comes down to the simple idea of like, all right, well, if that's what it's going to be like for Jock. As the backup, can he actually really start the year as the Grizzlies starter? Can he win that job? Still not entirely sure. On the depth chart, it's still Aldama listed as the starting center. They've always got the option of playing Jaren Jackson Jr. as the starting five. But Aldama, versus Jock, I'd rather see Jock, obviously. Is that my Aussie bias showing? You better bloody believe it. But in the preseason this year, Jock's been out there. He's hit a couple of threes in that first game against Detroit. Played again against Atlanta. Scored 9 points in both. Had 7 rebounds in both. That's fucking fine, mate. Let's go. So he actually started in that second game as well when they're out there with Aldama, but obviously no Triple J. So it's going to be a weird one. I want to see him start the year as the starting center of the Memphis Grizzlies while Zach Edey is out. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I would like to see it. And if so, can Jock please just get a bit of a full-time run as a decent backup big, right? When Edey's in there, we know that Edey fucking loves a bit of foul trouble. So Jock should get plenty of run. And I guess the third question here is, will this be the year where we actually see Jock Landale get consistent minutes and consistently produce? Because he's actually had these moments like on Houston, etc., when they played him. Offensively, it was all pretty thumbs up. There were like moments where, here we go. He's feeling it. We're getting good. We're doing all right. And then there'd be games where defensively he was a bit bereft. There'd be other games. Across the season, he averaged like 5 points a game. Didn't do too badly. I thought he was fine. Ime Udoka clearly didn't agree with me. So, I don't know. I just want to see him get a clear shot at a bunch of playing time, because when he's actually had really consistent sort of runs, that's when he's produced at his best. And I don't know, can he hit some threes? He was hitting them in the preseason. Let's go. Across the season last year, he went 11 of 26 from downtown. 42%. Not bad. Let's go, Joe. So I guess really a lot of this comes down to, can he just be a legit backup center in the NBA? Can he stick? And because he's behind Zach Edey, can he actually just get consistent minutes? Let's go. Come on, Jock Landale. Josh Green on Charlotte. Dude's 24. Which is great. It feels like Josh Green has been in the NBA for a million years. But I guess at this point, what else can he add to his game to make sure that he actually pops a little bit? Because this Charlotte team just stinks to high heaven at most times, right? Now, they've got presumably a healthy-ish LaMelo. They've got that prick Miles Bridges out there. They've got Brandon Spindles Miller. They've got Con Knipple. Can Josh Green be that other dude on this team that sort of just brings it all together? Big part of that comes down to question number 2. Can he get that three-point shot above 40%? Because, I guess he shot 38% for his career, 3.6 attempts last year per game. That needs to be over 4.5 per game, and I'd feel very comfortable with his prospects at kicking ass, taking names, sticking in the NBA for a really, really long time as a lockdown 3-and-D dude. And can we see a little bit more as well, right? We know that Greeny's a really good cutter, sick dunker. Can he actually just stay healthy, get on the end of some of these LaMelo passes, and hit his corner threes? Because every time Josh Green launches a three, ever since he was a young buck in Dallas, he's still a young buck, he's 24. Every time he launches a three, I want to be going, that's in. Right? It's very similar to the Dyson sort of situation, but Greeny's like a bit older, I think. How old are they both? Anyway, Dyson's actually probably around there, but either way, Greeny, I just want to be able to believe in that three-point shot and it going in every time when it actually matters. Yeah, Dyson's only 22, which is crazy. So can he get that above 40% for the season again and for the career? Become more of a volume three-point shooter from the corners, hit them when needed, hit them when it's important. And I guess the last question is he going to be the only bloke playing defense on Charlotte? Holy shit. Their entire lineup is just terrifying when you think about defense. Because, I don't know, it's probably half the game. And they're out there, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, Miles Bridges, and Moussa Diabate. Woo! Grant Williams sitting on the bench. Greeny at the minute is coming off the bench as well next to Colin Sexton and Trey Mann. Spencer Dinwiddie as well. Like, this is a wildly crazy team. So, Greeny, can he actually be, I don't know. Can you have a team where only one dude plays defense? We're about to see the answer to that question. But Josh Green, I want to see if he can take like a little bit of a leap beyond cool 3-and-D dude that's nice to have to like 3-and-D dude where everybody goes, wow, we should get Josh Green on our team, right? I want to see like the free Josh Green movement grow and grow and grow. Let him develop his game a little bit more maybe this year. But I want to see him take that step of just being an absolute ass kicker. Let's go, Greeny. All right, let's go to the Portland Trailblazers duo of Do-Up, Bop, Do-Up, the Great Barrier Reef, Do-Up Reef, and of course, Aussie Matty T, Matisse Tybal. Do-Up. Essentially, my big question is, will Portland play him more than 10 minutes a game? Because it fucked him last year, right? Didn't start last year, played bullshit minutes. Clearly, Chauncey Billups hated him. But their big problem is, question 2, but we'll get to that. He averaged 4 points and 2 rebounds after averaging 9 points and 4 rebounds as a rookie. And that was purely just because they barely played him because they've got 87 fucking centers on that stupid roster of Portland, right? And if they're not going to give him minutes and help him develop that game, can we get him to a new team that doesn't have 5 centers on it at all times, seemingly? Because what have they got? Time Lord, Yang Hansen, they've got Donovan Clingan, they've got Do-Up. So they've got the 4 bigs at the moment already. And like those 4 dudes, there's not a giant amount of, I'm actually a bit of a power forward as well. Like Do-Up's probably their best chance at that. So play him as a power forward. See what he can do. He's a great shooter. And if not, can we get him to Boston? Or some other team that just needs big people? Right? We just said Charlotte. They're starting Moussa Diabate. Let's get Do-Up there as well. Come on. What about the Lakers? You can't tell me the Lakers wouldn't love having Do-Up Reef out there, getting rebounds and launching threes. Let's bloody go. Because I want to see if there's more to Do-Up's game. I just want to see him play more. Because every time you sort of see him, you notice a couple of little tweaks of what he's doing, a little bit of an improvement, this sort of stuff like that. I love it. I want to see more Do-Up play. I want to see more of Do-Up playing rather than Do-Up not playing. I can't believe Time Lord is still on this team as well. Like, what is going on? Boston, Lakers, Charlotte, go get him. Even Chicago could use him. Just saying. But see, and I guess if there's nothing else out there, like, has he added more to his game? Like, can we get more defense out of Do-Up? Because that also really bodes awesomely for the Boomers down the track. If we can get Do-Up into a formidable centerpiece that you can sort of play around with Jock, with Rocco, and all the other bigs that we've got floating around, it'd be kind of bloody nice. Just saying. Come on, Do-Up. Aussie Matty T, Matisse Tybal. Can he stay healthy? 65, 65, 66, 71, 65, 15. That was a brutal one last year after the ankle and the knees. Because if he can stay healthy, can he help this Portland team actually be good? Right? Just saying. Can he carve out a proper role with Billups in charge in Portland with all the weird smattering of changing faces in Portland where Jrue Holiday's there now. You've said goodbye, obviously, to Anthony Penny Simons. But I just want to be able to see if Aussie Matty T can get out there and just be between he and Tumani Kamara, this should be Houston Northwest, right? Of just defensive malleability and terrifyingness. Let's go. Because number 2 is, can he lead the league in steals? What do you mean, Jim? Dyson Daniels averaged 3 a game. Yeah, you know who also averages more steals per 36 minutes than Dyson Daniels? That's right. It's Aussie Matty T across their careers. Obviously, Dyson had a big spike last year. But it's literally 2.7 steals per 36 minutes for Aussie Matty T versus 2.6 for Dyson. Yes, Dyson's last year was a big outlier, but still, Aussie Matty T is a fucking defensive weapon. There's not many dudes out there from the guards or wings position who have more blocks and steals combined than him. He's awesome. Can he actually step up and be a proper defensive menace for this Blazers team that desperately probably needs him to be that sort of dude next to Kamara when they've got Denny Avdija out there, when they've got Giroux, when they've got Scoot, when Jeremiah Grant is out there too. Let's go Aussie Matty T. And number 3, can he actually just like stay healthy and hit threes? I just want him to hit some threes. He has these games where he's like, oh, guess what? Today I will hit 6 threes. And you're like, what the fuck? Can you do that more? And he's like, I just don't know if I can. I'll go on a month-long tear where I hit 1,000,000 threes. How's that sound? I'm like, okay. Look at the back half of his... So he came back and played 15 games. He shot 43.5% from 3 in that time. He went 5 or 6 from downtown against Cleveland the end of March, right? But that was it. He went on this like 7-game streak to finish off the season, hitting a bunch of threes. 6-game streak. And was absolutely crushing it. I just want to see more of that from Aussie Matty T. Which is crazy, right? He's 28. Just play more. Let's go. Dante Exum. Sex him up. Kangaroo Kobe. How's Dante looking this year? Well, it's a little bit of a weird one after the Mavs went and got D'Lo. And then watched D'Lo play and went, hang on, we're better off playing Cooper Flagg as our point guard. And everybody in the world outside of the Dallas Mavericks fucking organization went, hang on, ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. Oh, duh! What are you doing? Of course you should be putting fucking Cooper Flagg there instead of D'Lo. So Dante, I think, started this sort of off-season as the backup point guard behind D'Lo on the depth chart. It looks like they're going to start Cooper Flagg as their point guard, presumably, right? So Cooper Flagg next to Clay, PJ Hamilton, Washington, AD, and either Lively or Gafford. So these really massive lineups, which I fucking love for Dallas. It's also not that great for Dante because then suddenly D'Lo becomes the backup point guard. Dante's your third string. You've still got Max Christie as well there. But look, it's fine. It's fine. Dante is a luxury item, I reckon. Because even if they hadn't announced Cooper Flagg as your point guard for the Mavs, how long do you reckon the D'Lo experiment would have lasted with Jason Kidd? 4 weeks? Like before the end of November or after, right? That's kind of like 6 weeks of the season. I would probably have guessed under. So the big question then for me is like, can he actually sort of supplant him overall before Kyrie comes back, if he does come back this year? Because I just want to see Dante instead of fucking D'Lo. One of the worst, most aggravating NBA players you'll watch play in person. It's just, I don't know how coaches haven't hit him in the face. Just like fully just gone, righto, bang. Like Nick Young hated that dude as well, right? Because he outed Nick Young and Iggy Azalea and all that sort of shit. D'Lo, one of the most hated men in the NBA for good reason. So I just want to see Dante get out there. I want to know how much he's going to play. You'll probably start the season, right? Like they'll change it up. They'll have Cooper Flagg. They'll start this way. They'll bring D'Lo on. Dante will probably still get minutes at the start of the year. I just want to know how much of that's going to be. Can he stay healthy? Is it good for him in the long run to not actually play that much earlier on in the season? So as we sort of saw last year, right? Like he came on like a fucking house on fire later on in the season. And can he then just supplant D'Lo as a much more trustworthy backup point guard for Jason Kidd? Right? That's all I want to know. There you go. Those are the kind of veterans. Let's get to some of the younger bucks. Tyrese Proctor, the 2 Cavs. Cleveland. Let's do it again. Let's do the Stephen A.
Cleveland.
There you go. Can he lock away the backup point guard spot there in Cleveland ahead of Lonzo? Probably not. He's going to start that way though, isn't he? Because Garland's probably going to miss the start of the season. So Lonzo becomes your starting point guard in Cleveland next to Donovan Mitchell. Unless they sort of go with the Donnie Mitchell, Max Strus kind of backcourt, bring Lonzo off the bench and Tyrese as the third stringer, which kind of makes sense, right? But the way that they've used him in preseason sort of tells you a bit that they just want to kick the tires and see how he goes. So He went 7 of 23 from downtown in preseason as well. So number 2 is, can he hit threes? Like, he's got some really cool off the bounce juice. I want to see more of that from Tyrese Proctor. And then I guess with his point guardery skills, being a floor general, this is what Tyrese Proctor can really fucking excel at. And if he can do that, come on, and just sort of set up the rest of that Cavs team, which is loaded for bear in the Eastern Conference, can he become a fan favorite for the Cavs fans? I fucking hope so. Because that Cavs team is a really strange mix. So he actually got out there today in their preseason game against Detroit for 15 minutes. Kind of nice to see that he did pretty bloody well too. He and Luke Travers. I guess the question is, what do the Cavs brass think of him in the end? Because if he can hit his threes, be a floor general, he'll become a Cavs fan favorite very quickly. And I'll love to see that because, I don't know, their sort of backup point guard stuff, it's like a lot of Lonzo. If they just start Donnie Mitchell as their starting point guard and put like a Sam Merrill or somebody next to him, which is probably what they do, Proctor probably bumps down the list a little bit. We'll see how we go. But if they start Lonzo, who knows what could happen. Either way, want to see him get out there more than anything in an NBA game. Let's go Tyrese Proctor. Luke Travers, same sort of goes for him, right? Will he play more than last year? 12 plus games. What do you reckon? On his 2-way contract, the big thing is, I guess, when he's out there, can he hit threes? He hit one today in his 3 minutes. That's all he did. It was awesome. Came out, hit a 3. The flying doormat, flying around, knocking in threes. And will he shave, will the haircut change? I want to know that this year. I love the flying doormat. Don't ever change, Luke Travers. How much does he like playing for the Cleveland Charge? They were the Canton Charge, weren't they? In the G League. So I just want him to sort of prove that he belongs in the NBA, can carve out a little bit of a role. That Cavs team, as I said, it is loaded for bear. Proctor has a little bit of a chance just because they don't have a giant amount of other ball handlers, especially Garland sort of always hurt. But Proctor will play. Will Luke Travers play? It's a little bit Hunter, as long as DeAndre Hunter, it gets a little bit harder if he's healthy to see Luke Travers playing too much. You got Sam Merrill. You've got other like Larry Nance. You've got Dean Wade, these sort of bigger wings, kind of like Travers. So it's going to be a bit weird. Hopefully he gets out there. And if he can get out there, can he actually prove he belongs? Let's go Luke Travers. Decent in his 3 preseason games as well. Hit some threes, get some rebounds, start some shit. Be a legend, Luke Travers. Rocco's Modern Life. Can you smell what the Rocco's cooking? Can he show enough development for the Wolves just to keep the faith? Because that's a project. It's like, I hope you like learning G League, buddy. I just want to know, can Rocco get more than 2 rebounds a quarter in the G League? Right? Because Rocco's going to be out there in the G League, developing, playing very little in the ones, obviously, unless there's like an injury to Gobert, etc. But the Wolves have got him on the 2-way contract. They've got Rudy as their sort of big. Outside of that, it's like Julius Randle and Naz Reid and their rookie, Joan Berenger. Then it's Rocco. So he might have a bit of a run at playing if there's any injuries to those Minnesota Wolves bigs. And if he can get out there, can you just get me some fucking rebounds, Rocco? Block some shots for, sure, but just get out there and get me some fucking rebounds. That's all I want to know. And last one is, who would win in a fight between him and Joan Berenger? Hopefully it's Rocco. He's not the world's most coordinated dude. Like, can he also stand up straight? That's all I want to see Rocco do. Like, I get the tall guy thing. It's really hard. He's sort of always like hiding how tall you are. Just fucking own it. Every time I've seen him, I've met him like twice. It's just like, oh man, it's fine. I'll look all the way up. I don't like you crouching down a bit's not helping. It's fine, bro. Anyway, Rocco, just show enough in your chances that the Wolves keep the faith and maybe get you out there as well. I want to believe in Rocco. He could instantly be an iconic NBA Australian player if he can get out there and actually perform. And finally, Lockie Ulbrich out there on the Chicago Bulls. How do you like them Windy City Bulls? Get ready to learn G League, buddy. Will he shave the mo at any point? Not sure about that. I'm a bit... Geez, Jim, are you a big proponent of facial hair? Yes. But this fucking dirty Mo, I don't know. Will Billy Donovan actually fucking nut up and play any sort of rookie? Always a weird one. Lockie O is an interesting one because I feel like he actually fills a bit of a role for this Bulls team. But because they've now got Zach Collins on that team behind Vooch, they've still got Patch Williams, and they drafted Noah Essengay. Lockie O becomes like the sort of lower man on the totem pole. But in the game that they played today as well, he had 6 points, went 2 of 2 from the floor in his 4 minutes. What he provides is what Patch Williams does not. IQ and motor. So, like, I want to know if he can prove that he's a better basketball player than Patch Williams. Because that dude is just, if Patch Williams puts it together this year, awesome. Best of luck to him. I just want to know if Lockie Olbrich can actually give him a bit of a fucking run for his money. The over-under for him, does he play more than 10 actual NBA games this year? I'm going to go with the over. I think this Bulls team is going to be in a weird little bit amount of flux. I think you'll see a bit of Essengay. I think you'll see a lot of Patch. They've still got Jalen Smith on this team for some fucking reason. And again, if you want drive and basketball IQ, you're going to Lockie Olbrich ahead of Jalen Smith. And hopefully Gids helps that. So, Gids had 25, 9, and 6 in that same game. Just saying. So, but Lockie Olbrich, I want to see him get out there and just fucking show that motor, show those skills, that work ethic. Will Billy Donovan actually believe in him and actually play him? That's what I want to know too. But there you go. That is all 13 NBA Aussies covered off with 3 big questions. And like these were kind of just ones that I've had sketched out here for a little while, right? I'm just like, I just want to know the answers to these. And I think we'll find out a lot of the answers throughout the year. But the cool thing is, there is so much up in the air for so many of these young dudes. And that's the cool part. So many of these Aussies in the NBA are super young, super fucking talented. And it gets me wildly excited for the Boomers and our chances at the next World Cup and the next Olympics. Because if we get all of our Aussie dudes in the NBA actually on the fucking court, and that was probably the bigger disappointment from last year, right? We had a lot of Aussies around the NBA, but not many actually out there on the court, with Box Hill Benny sidelined as well. Gids was out there, Dyson was out there, Jock was in and out of the lineup, Jingles wasn't playing, Paddy was barely playing. I just want to see these dudes play. I want to see Furphy have a crack. I want to see Landale get a bit of a run at it. I want to see Josh Green actually stay healthy and contribute. Duop and Matty T out there crushing it. Dante just doing work in Dallas and staying healthy. Proctor and Travers in Cleveland. Lockie O being awesome. Rocco developing. That's what I want to see. It's not too much to ask, is it? Probably not. There you go. But that'll do us for today. We will be back tomorrow for the East Over-Unders episode, which will be really fun. We'll go through all 15 East teams, give our Over-Unders. You better follow all those as well. At Dabble, etc., which would be pretty fun, so go check them all out. But that's it. Make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff. Jump on the YouTube, say good day, check it all out. We're also going to be doing NBA Supercoach on Jim Does Supercoach. Love that little show. I love doing that each week. That's really fun. NFL Supercoach, I'm fucking crushing it. NBA Supercoach is fascinating. I want to know what you think about it. Rookies and guns. Can we fit Jokic and Wemby on the same team? What do you reckon? I reckon we can. I've made it work. Tell me what you think. Check it all out. Jim Does Supercoach. Check out NFL Straya as well with myself and Gaz. That was a really fun one this week. Gaz still sounds like shit because he's fucking traveling, but good times were had. Rate, review, and start all those shows and this one, of course. Don't ask for too much, but make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're checking it out. Tell your mates. We're about to start a new NBA season. We've just covered all the Aussies. It's what we're going to do all season. We're going to change the format a little bit, so keep your ears pierced for that. Pierced? Sure. Eyes open. Ears open. Whatever. It's going to be awesome. going to be a fun year. I can't wait for this. So get around all of that stuff. Get around from Oslo. They're behind the intro and outro song. They rock. So the Househats, Josh Giddey, Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sex Jedi, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear on the show. They are radical. But make sure you're rated, reviewing, starring, commenting, jumping on. I'm basically trying to get this a little bit more, a little bit momentum heading into the season. So jump on, send through some yeah nahs. We'll answer a bunch of big season preview yeah nahs to start next week. And then we'll get into the over-unders tomorrow and Friday. So should be good. All right, that's it. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And the Aussies are here. The Aussies are here. Later, hosen. G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah nahs. Any other questions, I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Australia, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Australia, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?
This house feels